Welcome back. May 2017 was a win for comic books with $48.2 million worth of merchandise ordered. This after comic book sales hit a 20-year sales record last August, boosted by the success of both the Marvel and DC film universes. Joining me right now is ComicConnect.com COO Vincent Zurzolo. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here,
Thanks for having me.
So your auction of nearly 18,000 comics just closed last night. How did it go?
We had a record week last week. It closed from Monday through Friday last week, and our pre-auction estimates were $4 to $5 million. We broke $7 million on the auction.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was
so
amazing.
What do you think is behind this obsession with comic books that we have?
Well, I think people are very nostalgic, and they're trying to recapture the happiest times of their life, their childhood. But I also think it has a lot to do with the commodities, that comic books have become commodities. They are all encapsulated in hard plastic holders from CGC Grading Company, which is the world's largest grading company. And they're encapsulated in these comic book holders, and it makes people who don't know how to grade a comic book, makes them able to buy and sell comic books.
You know, it's interesting because as you were talking, I was thinking, yeah, there is that we want to relive our childhood, and I'm thinking, well, that's really wholesome, right?
Yeah.
But some comics are not wholesome. I've seen a lot of comics. My husband likes comic books, and some of these comic books get serious. I mean, it's not so wholesome.
Well, they're not all for little kids.
Right, exactly.
You know, so
like my husband.
Right, there you go, exactly.
Yeah. So what's the attraction, do you think?
So I think it's nostalgia. I think it's this idea that it's a form of entertainment, it's escapism, it's a form of investing. People are not so in love with, I think nowadays, ever since the recession, traditional forms of investment, and have to become their own type of investor. So they look at things that they love, tangible assets like vintage comic books.
And one of them that you brought in was the comic in which Superman appears for the second time. Let's look at that one here. How much did that one go for at auction?
This comic book, the second cover appearance of Superman, went for $188,000. What's important about this is the court case copy. This was used when DC Comics sued Fox, who had made an imitation Superman character back in the 30s and 40s. And
let's show that one. That's this one right here.
Yeah, if you get close up, you'll see the stamp, the court case stamp.
So this is the court case stamp. Wow, because they made a Superman.
Yeah, Wonder Man, who was a rip-off of Superman. But this is the comic book that sold for the most in our auction. It's the first appearance of Superman in Action Comics #1. Now, my company holds the records, world records. We sold the first $1 million comic book, 1.5, 2.2, and over 3 million. This copy is conserved. It has a little bit of conservation done to it to maintain the structural integrity. This comic book we estimated to sell for about $200,000 to $250,000, sold for $393,000.
Oh my God! What does a collector do with that? Just keep it covered, and it's just. That's the price of it.
I think it's in their safe or something like that.
$300,000.
$393,000.
That's incredible. Almost $400,000 for this this cover. Batman, a significant character in DC Comics. Why did that one bring in such a large amount of money? Tell us about the Batman one.
Detective Comics #27, the first appearance of Batman. This comic book is actually restored. If it wasn't restored, it would sell for over $1 million easy. This comic book we estimated to sell for about $200,000 to $250,000. It sold for $313,000. People love Batman. They love Superman. These are two of the biggest characters in the world.
You're right. Yeah. But what about characters today? Are there new characters that have emerged today that perhaps could command these kinds of numbers?
You know, there's a comic book that came out. You might have heard about it, The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
It's a huge TV show. Walking Dead is huge. That's a comic book that, in perfect condition, a #1 copy can sell for over $3,000. What's really exciting, our company will be bringing the world's best collection of Walking Dead to auction later this year to coincide with New York Comic Con, as well as an original art collection that's going to blow the minds of many people around the world.
And how do you choose something like that, Walking Dead? Why did you think Walking Dead would be a good game?
I never did.
Right.
You know, it's not my market. I started reading them, and a comic book done in black and white that was done so effectively, it was just amazing. When you read the original comic books, you understand why it's become a worldwide phenomenon.
Fascinating. Vincent, great to have you. Thanks so much for walking us through it.
Thank you very much.
Vincent Zurzolo there.